A lot of our problems is this whole, divide and conquer where we just go against each other on so many different topics, largely politics, where it's the team that someone has chosen, the side, so if you will, is that's the fucking ultimatum. Why does it say mute already, Tim? That's the ultimatum. So made them. So it's either you're 100% correct and the other person's 100% false, or they just don't understand anything. They're the fucking dumbest person in the world, and you're the smartest person in the world. Every not goddamn time. What we need to come to understand is there's a lot of in-betweens. Information that can be both positive, and then there's information that can be negative. Like, so someone says something about one of their presidents, right? They pick a president, nothing can be wrong with that president. I'm going to be very general here just to not stick anyone's defenses up in their egos, okay? And the fact is that all of the leader that they've chosen, they voted for, is a fucking flawless, doesn't want anything to do with extra money or extra power, and they're fucking angel gods, okay? Or, well, I guess the same thing with, the two sides, the parties. You picked a party, great. You've picked a team. And we've been brainwashed to think that everything about that team is fucking, they're astronomical. It's the other side that's screwing everything up. Even though most of the time, whenever one side or the other party is in order and they have the control over the Senate, they're filibustering and blocking everything. So either way, we're fucked. And there's just a lot of that. There's a lot of this whole vax versus non-vax. Or people call it anti-vaxxers. But I think a lot of people aren't really that they're anti-vaxxers. It's more of, because that would mean that you would say everything about vaccines is bad. You're completely anti is what the suggestion of the wording is. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like a lot of the time people are just trying to bring up the fact that there's something off about it. And then there's these people that believe that they're actual saints too, came down from the heavens, and that everything that a government official or some paid off person tells you to do is fucking the most legitimate information in the world. So, where do we land? How... If everything is on the two extremes, it's all the way over here. I'm fucking 4 vax. You should get 7 vax shots or whatever, 6 if they tell you 3 times. If they tell you to fucking do it that way, that's good. Or anti-vax is what the thing. Oh, there's fucking microchips and everything, or everyone's going to die every time from it or something. And then that's what people imagine in their head is what they're saying. That there's always going to be, everyone's either completely for it or completely against whatever topic we're choosing, right? And I may have lost some people now because we're dealing with some emotionally charged death-related things. Okay? Sorry. I try and calm my ego and my own emotional thoughts. But I'm trying to talk to you more calmly. It'd be great discussion. That's another thing too. A lot of time we end up in some kind of emotionally charged argument of who's the most righteous and who's the stronger, more superior being. And a lot of the times that's just not a healthy way or efficient way to have any type of discussion. Discussions should be about, just keeping calm and just bringing up facts. and this is the way we can get through it, is you search in those facts and try and check those, but like actually do it. Actually do research online. Find as many of the most repetitious thing you can find on both sides. For and against the argument. Maybe it's for and against your own thing. I mean, this is sometimes how they even try to conduct debates. But yeah, it's just it's such a disappointment that if people could just acknowledge that, then everything would be different right now. Everything would be, yeah, vaccines have and can do help, right? I think we can, almost all of us can agree on that. But maybe some of the shit in there, can we acknowledge that that's bad? Can we acknowledge that thimerosal and mercury and maybe in some of them there's like some embalming fluids, like chemicals that are just not good for you? I don't remember the embalming fluid one. I might have just kind of came up with that randomly. Sorry about that. But I know that they're thimerosal and the mercury. And see, so maybe I just admitted that something was wrong. I don't know. I got to research it. But I know the other ones, and those are just the older ones. Those are the older vaccines. So yeah, it does do something when you're given like a dead aspect of it, right? So I guess I'm trying to use this because it's on our forefront and we're just seeing the effects of it. And, maybe we need to just come together and try and find the truth instead of trying to find ways to, basically try and harass the person or demean their intelligence to make them feel stupid so that we can have some weird false sense of self where we're like, that's what the ego is. It's like some collection of programmed thoughts that you just keep running in your mind, and it kind of connects and it forms a pattern, and you're like, I know everything more than anyone else. And that's not even fucking physically possible. There's plenty of other people that know more things than us. People that have experienced things, or they've studied things a lot longer, or maybe, yeah, they have more evidence. But it just happens so many times. There's got to be some kind of intermediate where you can say both. You can both agree that people are dying and say, okay, maybe it's a very low percentage. But for people to say something according to the numbers, which show like around almost 100% now, 96 to 99, and we just kind of just have this fight where it's like, well, you're inconsiderate of the dead people. No one ever said if majority of the people are surviving COVID as a natural fact, doesn't mean that you have to hate or like want other people to die. That's fucking crazy talk. How can someone come up with that assumption? That's just weird. Like, just because you're not fucking throwing yourself into like a prison and like actually want to go out and live life, and you've realized all of the information instead of just a small 4% piece of it, is strange. It's just a strange way of thinking. It doesn't equate to sanity. It's delusional in the way, and I'm sorry I'm using terms that may trigger people to build their wall again, but it's delusional in the way that you can't face facts. A lot of the things are arbitrary. It's like my cousin or something died, and that's fucking horrible. Oh my God, that's not cool. I used to have fucking asthma. I know what that is. I was on the ground breathing like a fucking stuck pig, dude. I couldn't even get up off the ground. Like, I just surrendered to, like, I guess my body was like, just fuck it. Like, you're just going in the ground. No, I don't know. It was just felt like I was just that weak. I couldn't even like stand or sit. It's not a fun way to go out. But do we have to get into graphic detail about that to acknowledge facts and not be emotional? And use emotions as a blame theory of like why other people can't acknowledge facts and can't acknowledge truth? Shit in there. So it's just, you can see it time and time again. Just stop picking teams. Stop saying this team is fucking the greatest and the other team is fucking not. I mean, I'm sure fucking Republicans and Democrats have done tons of bad shit. It doesn't fucking matter. And then team fucking people, apparently it's not even a team anymore. It's just like some label that we identify with. Like, you're not born out of a vagina like with a Republican or a Democrat stamped on your head. You know, I mean, I guess that might be the future, but like, these aren't real things. You are just a consciousness looking and observing things. You're not even gonna be whatever we want to identify as like from this country or land. That was like your ancestors. Like there's just so much shit. Like you're not a culture just because someone else came from there. That doesn't make sense. Like if you were born in America and then it'd be like, well, I'm just everything Asian. Well, how do you quantify that? Do you just say like 17 families ago, one person may have been Asian, and that means I have to like celebrate Chinese New Year and like if anyone says anything about that, then it's like some fucking horrible act of racism. Like if they try and wear like a geisha dress or something, I don't know. There's so many different layers to our ego identity. There's a lot. I mean, you could have it go for, let's see here. I mean, even just a football team, people fucking argue about stupid shit like that. I mean, you can quantify it down to a lot of weird stuff. Like, it's our team. Our team did this. Our team won. Try that one. Just mix it up with different formats of an identity that we create in our head. Our team they won. They beat the other team. We're really, oh yeah, it's great. Oh no, our team lost. I'm mad. Ah, you know, over and over and over. So many different things. And that's not your team, man. I don't know how to tell you this. You're not on the fucking team. They didn't put you in the third quarter. You had little to no effect. They didn't fucking, throw you in on that last draft. I'm sorry. It's just a weird thing that we're just saying like, oh, I'm out there, I'm part of the team. I watched the game on like a fucking, screen back in the bathroom. Taking a shit. Like, just want to make it funny to show how like crazy it is. And then when people mention like their team, they're like, oh, my team fucking did this and your team sucks and they haven't won anything in forever and they're fucking horrible. And that means you're dumb at everything, because you're dumb at everything. You're dumb and everything you think is dumb, and what I just said was dumb. So, but it, like I had a discussion with someone before too. It was like, I just kind of had like the thought, like, they kind of misscaled a lot of like even like old Egyptian stuff, and they're thinking it's a lot older. But I was like, what about the stuff that I just mentioned this to someone? What about what stuff? There's some girl. What about the stuff that is deeper? Maybe it's frozen underneath like a big, huge bunch of layers of ice up north or in the Arctic. And it was like, she was like so mad about that. Like she was like had it in her head. I heard what her excuse was later, that is somehow equated to saying I don't believe in science. which has nothing to do with what I said. I was just simply in amazement, and I was kind of just trying to make like a fun combo of like, hey, wow, isn't that interesting that we could keep digging deeper and find more older fossils, because like things get buried over time from the winds blowing shit over and all the tectonic plates moving and rocks, and like the oceans receding, and we know more about the surface of the moon on one side than the fucking ocean surface. And like that's kind of an indication of what I was saying too. That is science, of like saying, hey, like that's a big change. But of course not. And then apologize later for saying that thing, right? Saying I was just being an asshole. Then we talked about it again, and like right after, like say, hey, this is why we had got into that argument, and I was just trying to simply show you something interesting, and you got all like pissed off and like told me to leave. And she's like, oh yeah, we'll isotronic, or they calculate the isotopes and they carbon date things. And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't disprove that those scientists know every single rock and everything that's underneath the ground in the entire planet. I'm just noting that. And then that's when he said, like, I'm trying to fucking say I don't believe in science. So it's just the ego, just that identity, just searching for some type of way to make any little arbitrary thing, like focusing on like, oh, you know, this is all horrible, or it's all fucking been discovered, and everything else that the other person's saying, that little arbitrary thing makes everything they're saying fucking stupidest shit ever. They're fucking assholes. They're trying to just fight with you. And I was just trying to show something like a new aspect, but that's a conflict in between the two areas of the brain where you're almost fighting with your identity, because you've had this thought that everything has been accounted for and dated, and that anything else is too confusing. It's kind of scary. Like, oh no, new information is gonna make me fucking have to question my old thoughts and beliefs, and then I kind of feel like I don't know anything. I must be fucking the dumb one, and then I'm scared I'm gonna fucking lose it, because what if everything I know is a lie? Well, maybe it is. Oh, should I leave it at that? All right. Well, no, it's not. It doesn't have to be that way, but just please try to be civil and just try to find the other person's aspect and try and listen and just try and figure out what are they trying to really say. Not trying to look at like while they're saying like how that's wrong, or like every time, or like where the fuck to bring up the false accusations. And maybe, just maybe, we could build a fucking better place where knowledge is used as an opportunity to learn something new, instead of a fucking fight to like just diss people basically and make them feel stupid for even trying to disagree with someone else, or just it's basically just trying to offer, you know, a new perspective, a new interesting piece of information that they may or may not have known. And that should be cool. That should be great. We should be rewarding, saying thank you for offering me something that was, you know, beneficial to me somehow. I guess if you're just giving people, you know, shit just for the fact that you're just trying to fucking hurt them or make them scared, that's not really a good present to go around and give people. But if it has an aspect to it where it's like, oh, well, this is, you know, maybe negative in some ways, but it's also positive that they can change how they outlook and interact with the world, then it's just a better truth than the fucking lies, you know? I don't know. How about we'll drop some comments below and everyone just start fighting each other about it. That might help. Just anything anyone says, just say the complete fucking opposite and tell them that they don't know shit, and just post a bunch of links to some fucking bullshit ass sites that aren't, you know, peer reviewed at all, or maybe they're peer reviewed by the wrong people, but oh, all right, well, left it, fight. Oh, it's doing the Mortal Kombat thing. No, I guess love then,